Sunshine Global Network. I have a panel of gentlemen here. Everybody looks good. How you doing, fellas?
All right, all right.
All right, man. We'll get started, and we'll start left to right. Everybody, introduce yourself and tell them who you are and why are you here? Why are you representing the boss here today?
All right.
Where am I looking? Right there. All right. Uh, Good evening, everyone. My name is Kadar Griffo. I am CEO of Zoza Research Society. We are authors of books. We do philanthropy. We do charitable work. We try to get involved in the community. The reason why I am here is because of my particular background as far as being involved in the community, coming from an Afrocentric perspective, as well as on that whole black thing.
All right, all right. I'm Hodge Womack. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Innovative School Tools, and I build a software platform for teachers and educators so that we can make sure their lives are a lot easier so they spend more time teaching our children versus the paperwork and red tape. I'm also an educator every day, all day. So that's what I do to make sure our community is better.
Awesome, awesome.
I am Ronnie Rogers, owner and founder of Toad Eclipse Personal Training, and also a life coach and mentor. You know, just go around just helping people out, just making sure they stay clear mind and on a path of what they believe in life.
Personal trainer. You should came in here with a tank top on, and did 8 push-ups. I understand. Oil them up. That'd have been weird. Don't do that. Anyway, we did have a round table discussion. As you guys heard, we had some real bosses here, and it's an acronym. It's an acronym: Business, Occupation, Service, Significance. So a lot of people like to use the term boss. Me, and working in corporate America at one time, never liked to use the term boss. Like, I never had a boss. I had a supervisor or what have you, but I like this acronym. Education, being in education, building software for education. You said, are you in education, or it's just the business?
No, I do. Literally every day I'm at Mays High School.
Awesome.
I work out with students. I work with teachers there to make sure that we do a good job of serving our kids so they can make sure they're doing well and be successful.
Okay. And we need more black men in the education system.
Yes, we do. Absolutely.
So, which is a perfect segue into this conversation.
Okay.
You guys know, again, I'm Jason Carey. I'm your host here on the radio every single day, IBNX Radio, morning coffee swigs, 7 to 10, amongst other things. And we'll get into that. That's not important. What is important is to have this conversation. The question is, what's next for the black man? Now, that sounds like a broad question. What's next as it pertains to what? And I think we're saying, what's next in our social climate, our financial climate, that we're in a crossroads, kind of. And some may say we've been in this crossroads for a long time.
Right.
Some may say that. It's not new. Welcome to the fight. Welcome to the battle if you think it's new. Welcome, but we've been doing this. So, and we were talking off camera. We said that, of course, education, there's a gap being built there. And there's a gap in understanding between man and woman relations. So let's go there. If in your mind, what's next? Where are we going? Where are we at now? Where are we going?
Where are we going? We need to get ready for the fourth industrial revolution, which is going to be technology-driven, and we need to have more software developers like our brother Womack. We need to have people that are into the STEMs types of classes, so then that we will be prepared for when everything rolls out, that we'll be on the forefront of it like we used to be back in the day. So I think for us, black men need to really get into the STEM and be ready for the fourth industrial industrial revolution. We're looking at 5G is about to roll out all over Atlanta, and we got to be ready for this new
We'll
type
touch
of.
on 5G because I've heard some information. If you got any information on 5G, I heard 5G is not as good as we think it's going to be. I heard that there's a danger in that. But
There's always a danger with technology. I mean, with the electromagnetic radiation that will be pretty much right in front of your doorhouse, because like with the broadband that what we have now, or what they have now, it's not as close, it's not direct. With 5G, the waves are not going to be able to extend as far, so they're going to need more pods to be able to
Transmitters to transmit it.
there you go, transmit
boost the
this
signal,
information,
okay.
right. I'm sure he could probably speak on 5G better than I could. But we have to be ready for that type of technology, as well as seeing that we're becoming more global. Even though Trump is trying to be an isolationist with America, everybody else is still going global. So then we have to take the technology that we have here, the school systems, the educational programs that we have here, go back home to Africa and utilize that information to build up the technology highway there, information there, and to be able to bridge the gap where we will take our knowledge, our resources, our know-how, go there, build it up, become millionaires and billionaires, but bring them into the 21st, 22nd technology as well, based off of the fact that we're going to get the information and the technology before anybody else.
Got it. I'm gonna go here because you being a personal trainer, that's a social working out is a social thing, and so you kind of build rapport with your clients, but you see a wide demographic of people. What are kind of discussions? What are you seeing? Is this even a discussion? Because we educated, intelligent, we probably had these discussions all the time, which I tell women all the time that men don't sit around and talk about y'all.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all.
Or sports all day.
We don't do that.
You lying.
Okay. Different circles.
Same thing we talk about each other.
Okay, but so what kind of discussions are you having?
Kind of discussion I'm having with just people in general, not just my clients. Real life situations. You know, I like to be, what I call 100 and real with my people. Of course, we talk about what we going through as a whole in America. Our kids, how we need to get back to teaching. Loving our kids, because growing up, out of New Orleans, born and raised, I didn't have much.
I just want you to know that everybody knew you from New Orleans. We heard
Yeah,
you couldn't even hide. There was no discussion.
I can't hide it.
Yeah, you couldn't
No.
hide it at all.
I tried
You
so
tried.
hard.
You tried.
It's not coming out.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
all the time.
That accent is there.
It's there.
In basic words, just hello. I mean, go ahead.
But growing up, growing up, a lot of people showed us love. We looked out for each other. So that's what I'm teaching. Spreading love, spreading positivity, spreading support. So
Okay.
that's the kind of discussions I have with my clients.
Are we missing that? Are we missing that in our spreading love? Because that's a good way. Are we missing that?
we're
Especially
definitely
amongst
missing
black
that.
men, but just amongst our society. Period.
We're definitely missing it in so many ways, and so many, be it in business or technology or working out. But we have to actually have that conversation amongst ourselves and with our young people, and with our wives and people that we date. The issue is that we have to train our people. We have to train them in how do you handle business? How do you handle your money? How do you take care of your health? Don't be scared of going to the doctor.
Right.
That's just those 411 type scenarios. My mother was talking about her mother, my grandmother, and said, hey, they used to laugh at her. She always going to the doctor, right? But she lived to 80-something. My grandfather lived to only 60-something. So the difference in age, because she was just not scared to go to the doctor.
Well, men.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
don't like to go to the
but we
doctor.
got to get
We gotta
beyond
be close
that.
to death.
We got to get. I understand that, exactly, but we shouldn't have to be that way.
True,
and
true.
we have to educate our people to make sure that hey, don't be scared to go to the doctor. Go.
Right.
Not just
Whose
that.
job is it to when you say educate our people? Whose job is it to tell our men?
Us. We
So
should
we
be able to
supposed to be
stand
telling
right
each other.
here on the screen saying it is okay to go to the doctor.
Right.
Don't be afraid. It's better
That's
to
true.
know and deal with it versus not know, and then you only have 4 months to live.
So everybody look
Those
at
are
the camera
types
on the
of
count of three. Say go to the doctor. 1, 2, 3.
Go to the doctor.
All right. You heard this from black men.
Hey, but that's the type of love that we have to share with each other about that, because it's serious, but also about finances, how to save. Everybody should be reading books and teaching people about how to save. The Richest Man in Babylon should be an automatic
that
book that we read, so that we say, hey, what do you need to have as soon as you get the first dollar that you do? Not go out and buy some shoes, not to go have some fun. No, set this up first. Get your savings account going first. Get your interest bearing retirement going, and so on and so forth. Those are the types of conversations that we have. And now that we're doing better, we don't need to have that same mentality of necessarily have the same mentality of, hey, now that you're 18, 19, you got to go. You got to get out, get your own. No. When that's money that they spending $1,000 to rent on an apartment. That they could be giving to you, not just so that you could put it in a bank account for them. Now, they got to pay some light and gas. Let's not get it twisted. They got to pay some light, but at the same time, it's a responsibility. You take that money and go do something with it.
What you just said, you having them, instead of pushing them out, say, hey, if you were living by yourself, this is what your bills would look like. I'd say it would have been $1,500 a month, just giving that number. Well, let's split that in half, and you get that to me every month. You take it. I'm not paying a bill with it. I'm putting it away, but I'm getting you used to paying this bill.
Exactly.
I think that's a process. That's a process, and you begin a set of responsibilities, and then the kids don't feel like, well, I'm gonna leave then. You take my money.
That's right.
But I think that's just coming from an education point of view. That's a great way to. I think when you educate people, when you give them something new, you should tell them why you're doing it.
Exactly.
That's always been the problem, because I told you so.
I told you so. Yes. That's it.
I said so.
That's it. Absolutely. I hear you.
And because they didn't have the financial knowledge that we're requiring now, you know, we're suffering from it, or they're suffering, and then, you know, we had to start at such a later age to start to learn about the financial game. Whereas what we should be doing, one of the things we should be doing, like you said, teaching financial literacy, but here, again, with the kids living at home, take, say I'm paying life insurance for myself, so I take out a $1 million policy, right? And it costs about $400 a month. So I'm gonna pay this till I'm age 40, right? And then when my kids get to an age where they're making enough money, and then I turn that policy over and say, here, you pay it now. So with my demise, you get $1 million, and now you get to start fresh. Your children will be set, and you pass this on time and time again. So then we keep generating the wealth that we need to be doing. But if we don't learn and go to financial advisors and learn about financial literacy, then we're going to continue to just get a death policy, which is going to pay us $50,000. That's enough to bury us, and then you know, then we're fighting over $10. But if we got a $1 million policy at $400, because think about it. I don't mean to monopolize here. But you think about it.
This is a very good.
Take a car note. You're paying a car note for 8 years. At the end of that, then you know what I mean. The car is just done, and you can't take it with you. Now you're going to go get another car, so you're going to continue to keep paying this car note when you could really invest in something that will transform your family's wealth.
Yes.
You know, when because we all know we all got to transition out of here.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? When the child is old enough, give them that policy. Now, if you want this $1 million, you're going to have to maintain this policy. Period.
Absolutely.
But like I said, that's where the teaching come in at with us men.
That's right.
Not just men, women too. We have to get back to teaching.
That's so true.
And conversation. So, and that's, I think that's really what we're pushing here, is that we don't talk about how you breach the conversation. How do you breach the conversation with your homeboy, with your partner, that may not, we always going somewhere, I got to pay your way in, or I'm traveling and you can't never go. Why you can't never go? You know, and I see you make the bad decisions. I see you. It be like, hey, bro, ain't no need for you should be able to go on this trip. I told you last year. But how do you breach the conversation? Because we're prideful. You know, as men, it's kind of like, hey, man, you terrible. But how do you breach the conversation? I'll start here. I'll go around and take.
That's a hard thing, man, because we all prideful. That's a serious, but then you got to remember that, hey, pride is the first thing to go right before the fall. Right before the fall. So you gotta get rid of it. You gotta just say, I run it versus it run me. You know, just like the tongue can run us sometimes, and we have to control it. So to answer your question directly, I don't have very many friends that have to go that route with, right? But at the same time, those, like, we come together and saying, hey, I got this issue, and this is, I have a problem I need your help on. And I'm not so prideful to where I can't ask for help. You know, life experience has taught me that, hey, when I couldn't do for myself, somebody help me. Ask. And in that way, that conversation comes. And when they have helped me when I was vulnerable, it makes them more willing and apt to ask me when they're vulnerable.
Right.
So now we have that conversation, that relationship.
Right.
Now it's a lot easier to broach and say, hey, yeah, man, you might as well just do this or that. And they're more willing and open.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, in my case, I got like the bros, like the bros back in the hood,
Yeah,
back in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
We brothers, but we so harsh on each other. We used to be like, hey, man, why you can't go on the trip? You can't never go, man, look, put this to the side. We ain't taking no for an answer. And of course the truth come out, well, I got this going on, but all right, look, we giving advice. Brotherly advice, like, all right, well, you should do this, you could do that, but
Are they listening?
Oh yeah, they listening.
Okay.
But is it gonna get done? Probably not. But we just keep it honest and blunt the best way we can, and most of my bros, we be like, okay, you right. Let me try to get this together.
Well, that's good. That's listening.
I think a lot of it has to do with example. I think when your boys see you as actually doing the work, they actually see you successful. They actually see you having money whenever they need to borrow money and you got it, or they see you with the nice this and the nice that. Then they come to you when they don't have that ego issue, and they come to you and they say, "Hey, what did you do? How did you do?" And I think another thing, we need to utilize what's available to us. Social media is amazing insofar as it allows us to reach our people and say what we need to say without actually having to be right there in their face and tell them. So we utilize those vehicles to put that information out. Like when I went and had a colonoscopy, you know what I mean? I shared it on Facebook. They're like, brothers, you need to go and do this. You know what I mean? When I did certain things, like I consolidated my bills, did a transfer, right? A credit card balance transfer. And I was like, hey, I got this rate at this, which means that I get to save X amount of dollars and da-da-da-da-da. So I talked about it, and then I was getting the hits up like, yo, well, show me how to do X, Y, Z. So I think not only should our example show for our brothers, but also because, they're looking at us, like we look at them as well. But we also need to talk about it, as you brothers are saying, but social media, where we got a lot of our friends, a lot of our associates, are there, and they're looking at some of the things, what I'm sure you brothers know, but people are watching you that you had no idea watching this.
It's real. Correct.
And so when you give them the information that they need, they're going to take that, and you don't even know that you helped them.
So to our black men, we're saying shed these challenges that we're creating for ourselves. Shed pride. Shed the feeling of embarrassment. Shed fear. Like, just have a conversation. Like, I don't get embarrassed. I shared that a long time ago about being embarrassed. Something happened, it happened. The thing is, I know what I've done. I know who I am. What you think has no bearing. That's a lot of self-work. But we all got to be doing the self-work. That's the thing. Share it with your brothers and sisters, man.
Absolutely.
Do the self-work. Do the self-work. We got a question from Facebook.
Our question is, someone wants to know, how do you help your kids build their credit before they even get a job, putting something in their name to increase the line of credit?
Yes, that is a way to help them build their credit. But unless you can actually afford that, then we don't want to start that whole thing that all of us have probably been through, where our parents put a light bill, a cable
And
bill,
my baby name.
or something like that in their credit. Buy a secured credit card. Get a secured credit card, and then maybe charge the light bill on it, and then pay it off every month. You know what I mean? Something, $250, $300, right? But, something simple like that. But get a secured credit card with your child's name on it and start to utilize it that way. That's one of the ways.
I think that's a great answer.
Yeah, that's a great one. I don't
Just
have that
go
one.
with that. Let's go with that answer. So one of the things that people want to hear about, and we don't sit around and talk about this often, but they want to hear about. They see black men sitting around. They want to know what black men and how it relates to relationships. So let's say you're married.
Yep.
Are you married?
No.
I'm not married. You married. You're not married. So we got a married man and three single men. And I'm not a father. Everybody.
I'm a father.
I am a father.
So we got 3 fathers. We got 1 married. I don't have none of that going on. I don't know what they're saying, good or bad. I don't know what's happening. So we should go with it. But they want to know, because we said what's next for the black man. We hear all the complaints. We hear the complaints about you can't plan. You don't know how to plan a date, or are you going on a date, or you call me, spend time. All the complaints.
I would say that the game is so different nowadays. I look at
For the record, this conversation is for y'all because we got a lot of other stuff
Right.
to talk about, but we're gonna go through this for y'all. All right. So go ahead.
The game is so different. The way my philosophy is, back in the 70s, 80s / 90s, I look at it as R&B. We was talking about love, happiness, family.
Bingo.
Now, 2000 they spreading more hate than love.
Right.
They spreading breakup.
Okay.
But I'm still teaching love.
And you still living that message, and it sounds like you say you receiving that from the media as well. You said you're receiving that from.
I believe in love because love will really take care of you mentally and physically.
Okay. And do you believe that that's the general consensus, or that's your thought?
But we have a lack of love nowadays.
General
Lack of
consensus.
love.
Okay.
You come here.
Relationships. For the brothers, I think
And it's kind of going into the challenge we're looking at. So
that's definitely one of the challenges. Is we don't plan dates. And most men don't feel like we have to. But if you want to please your woman, then you have to take the advice of either other women, your woman. For me personally, I've always listened to the women that I've dated, and every woman that I've dated, I've taken something from her and grown from that experience. And so I'll learn now to buy flowers. I'll buy a card for no reason. I'll definitely open doors and all of that chivalrous stuff. Now, I've had women tell me that, hey, I don't need you to open my door. I'm an independent black woman.
Can't stand it.
Obviously, I'm not dating her no more. But, you know what I mean? But I think for the brothers, because
You want to be the boy? Go be the boy. Go ahead.
at one point we used to say, unhappy wife, unhappy life. But now we're going to change it to unhappy spouse, unhappy house. So that means it goes both ways. So the sisters already think they know how to take care of us. But
Like that, because I hate the wife life
Right, I
thing.
do too.
I hate it.
So what we have to
Hate
do
it, but that's
now
out with a passion.
is,
I'll explain it later. Go ahead.
is we just have to listen more, swallow the whole patriarchy part of it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I mean, we still need to be men, but we ain't got to beat our chest at every angle. And
But what if you are listening? She'd be like, "Why you ain't saying nothing?" I'm just listening, David.
most of us are not. The majority of us are not very verbose anyway. We don't talk a lot. You know what I mean? The most of us.
Ding. He said verbose. That's a word. He said ding. Go with it. Carry on.
Get your phone back, bro. Get your phone back.
I'm sorry.
We don't talk a lot. So you know what I'm saying. We do more observation, and you know what I'm saying, and listening. Sometimes we tune y'all out. Of course we tune y'all out sometimes because sometimes y'all do just go. But make your point and then move on from it. We've heard you. Trust me, we have. It's just a matter of whether or not we decide whether or not we want to follow through or not.
Correct. From the married man.
Yes.
That's
Well,
Yeah, we say the best for last.
We all into it.
Yeah, right.
well, it's been a rough spot, man. It's not something that is automatic, and it's always ongoing. It's never I've arrived type moment. I've been married for 14 years now. I got 3 children. Thank you. And but
Congratulations.
boy, yeah, you gotta be the one. But there's several things that you said earlier. You got to do the self work. That's one. You do have to listen, true enough, but you got to know when to speak for yourself and when not to. And that's a not a game, but it's you have to be in the moment, listening and knowing when to make that decision, when to speak, when not to speak, when it's to your advantage, when it's not to your advantage. Is it worth fighting this battle right here? And it may not be worth it.
Y'all
And
always, they always asking, why you ain't saying nothing?
because it may not be worth it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
you can have this one.
And there's and again, I believe in going to doctors and because to be 14 years and it wasn't easy all the time, and not just her fault, it's my fault. You know what I mean? So, but the point is that going to psychologists and counselors, marriage counselors, just like we were talking about physical doctors. Because we all come in with baggage.
Yes.
Not a
People don't like
single
that.
person.
Absolutely.
True, just like we don't like going to physical doctors. But I'm telling you, every single person in this room and on the internet and around the world got a baggage. There's not a
right.
single person
You're
perfect.
absolutely right.
Period. And so and we as men got to understand that, hey, just because I'm having problems with this one, don't mean I'm going to go get another one. She's going to be automatically better. She may be different, but not necessarily better or worse for that matter. But bottom line is that she's going to have baggage too, because every last one of us do. I have it. All of us have it. So we have to be able to work through that baggage, going to get counseling and assistance, asking for that help, and then move forward.
I would say I have good baggage.
Yeah,
we got
that
Louis Vuitton,
Louis Vuitton. Hey, keep it up. You keep it up. Good.
Good job. Gold-plated baggage.
Hey, have the baggage, brother.
Have you and I been the only two that have went to counseling for relationships?
Oh, I know I have.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a lot of black brothers talking about that. You have it now.
Yeah.
Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, that's right.
Celebrities,
But I think that goes to what he said earlier about talking about it.
Right.
And I'm glad we're doing that on the show. Talk about it. Because I'm telling you, that's one of the things. You talked about pride. That's one of the things, like, guys, you got emotional issues. You got, financial issues, all this stuff. You keep it to yourself. Like, man, I got on a nice shirt. Don't nobody care.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, dog, you got a problem.
Yeah.
About to go to this bar, have a drink.
Yeah, man,
Do
you
you
got a
realize?
problem.
And then in my perspective, I don't want a woman to be behind me, in front of me. I just want her to be on the side of me. I want her to be on the side. I want to be a king. I want her to be a queen. I want to be able to step off the scene, and she got it.
That's right.
You know what I mean? and I got 3 daughters, so I want them to be able to survive and be able to handle themselves as well. So we have to be able to train them to be queens and vice versa, treat us as kings as well. And if you don't, then understand that that's not acceptable. We have to speak up for ourselves.
I kind of like my woman in front of me.
Check that. Hey.
You like to look at it, huh?
Sir,
Check that.
the dark show. Talk about that later.
We'll be doing it tonight.
There you go. Absolutely. Yeah.
Different topic. But anyway,
But it's real. Yeah, it's real. Because I got to be healthy too now.
Oh, you are.
and
gotta
that's
be- I
why
gotta be
like what
healthy
he
too
said.
now.
When you said that, that's why I like his statement when he said happy house, happy spouse, happy house.
That's right.
Because both of y'all are
That's
spouse.
so true.
And
That's so
because
true.
and that's why I dislike the statement, because happy wife, that means that I don't need to be happy.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't like
It's all about her.
I'm not gonna
That's
do that.
that's absolutely right.
Not
I
gonna
like
do
that one. That's right. That's right. We got to be happy too.
Yes, you had
You got to. I mean, if you're not happy or
nobody's happy.
mentally happy, it's going to be problems.
That's true.
I tell y'all right now, if I ain't happy, ain't nobody about to be happy.
We can tell.
How do we know?
Say that right now.
I got you.
My whole life is predicated on me being happy, so therefore, my job, everything is based on me being this guy.
Check that.
If you're doing something, you got to go somewhere.
Check that.
Huh?
Share some comments.
Yeah, please share some comments.
From Facebook, Sean Herbert says, no woman should expect to be treated as a queen if she does not know how to make her man feel like a king.
Okay.
And D. Hill had 2 comments. One was, this is D. Hill from Love 860 AM.
What's up, D Hill?
I'm glad to hear him say that we all have baggage. Then the second one, which I think you guys will find interesting, she said, men are so quick to blame the women for everything. Go.
That is not true.
That is so not true.
That is not
So
Not at
here
all.
we go.
not true.
This
Not
is
at
what we
all.
expected.
This is where the arguments come because
Right. The gender war.
there you go, the gender war, pointing fingers.
Yep.
When I talk as a whole, as a us. It's not an I. This is the problem we have. We. Once you start using we, you can get a lot of things accomplished. A lot of things. Instead of just pointing out one thing, because, like he said, we all have baggages. We all have our toxic ways, as I would say. We all have our you know, we won't agree on everything.
Yes.
We won't.
And it's a blanket statement. You gotta stop that.
Right.
Like he just said that she might not be better. She's gonna be different
Right.
because you dealt with it on an individual basis.
Absolutely.
People are individuals. Yes, we got as black men we want to come up as a group, but each one of these guys are different guys. We got different upbringings. We got from different
That's right.
places. We got different experiences. So the blanket statements, we all got to stop it. Like as hey, all y'all women do this, all men do that. Let's just stop it.
Yeah.
So to that point, I don't spend a whole lot of time on that because that just don't make a lot of sense.
But there's one.
We're not doing it.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Just one thing I would like to add to it is that everybody has to be able to have that self-reflecting moment.
Absolutely.
You have to be self-aware that you played a role in the problem.
Yes.
You know, if a man is going out there doing dirt, yeah, that's not good. But there is a role that is played, small, large, not all the responsibility on the lady, yes, but at the same time, there's a role that you play, and you have to be able to say, I own this part.
Right.
Now, this part may be you, but I own that part. And if I own it, I got to deal with it.
I think very, very. This is why he's been married for 14 years. But you remember? I don't know if you saw the post where they said that brothers, what is your biggest issue with women is that women didn't want to take accountability for the things that they did. So sisters, this is also your issue as well. It's not just ours. And a lot of brothers chimed in and they said that women don't want to take accountability. They don't want to own up and say, you know, this is my bad, this is my fault, I did it, you know what I mean? But they always pointing the finger at us, you know what I mean? Now, and believe me, I got 4 daughters. I had to count, right? I had 4 daughters. And my oldest one is, you know, she's complaining about, you know, the men. Like, you know, there's no men like you no more. You know, but I also tell her, hey, you got to handle your side of it. You got to make sure that you're that type of woman that will make them or will attract the right type of man. You know.
And I want to go right there.
Yeah.
Because you said you had to be the type of woman. You got to be, and men got to be the type man. Because I hear men say, "Man, I can't find no good."
Right.
I don't know where you been, bro.
Right.
Because I see them all the time. I know, but I can call 10 of them right now. I don't know why you don't. Why you can't.
That's the same way that I feel though too when I hear sisters say there's no good brothers. Because I'm like, my whole circle is a bunch of good brothers.
It's a bunch of good brothers.
You know.
So, in that, I travel a lot. I do, and I host large events everywhere, all across the world, all across the country. Everybody has the same problem. Where are the guys? We just went to, I was in Greece this summer. We went to Greece. Took 400 people to Greece. 25 guys.
Wow.
25?
25 guys. And I might be exaggerating, but 25 guys.
Wow.
And the problem,
Whoa.
yeah.
Right.
And
Those odds.
So the guys, but the problem is, guys are habitual. They go, hey, I'm going to the bar, I'm going to the club. I'm going to the bar, I'm going to the club. I'm going to the barber shop where there's a bunch of dudes. I don't understand that. But, like, if you're
That's not
looking
water,
for
though.
ladies, go where they are. And we talked about how ladies are elevating. Ladies wanted, they've been to Atlanta 20 times. They've been to Vegas.
Right.
They've been to Miami.
Right.
I'm done.
Right.
I don't want to go somewhere else. And I've been to Jamaica. So where else are they?
Right.
And I tell men all the time, they're on a plane, train,
True.
boat
That's
somewhere.
true.
And if you
True.
go out there,
True.
get your passport. It
Right.
costs less than the sneakers you got on.
That's true.
Hey, you hit that
That's
right
true,
on the
too.
Go
That's
get a
true.
go get a
My
passport.
guys that these trips don't cost much. They don't.
They should
And you get a year,
Right.
sometimes 2 years to pay for them.
pay for 'em.
Oh, you got time.
Yes.
You got the fellas. You got time.
You got time.
Just gotta
Travel
plan.
with the ladies. Go out, go by yourself. Waiting on your boys, you're never gonna go anywhere.
that's true.
But I say all that to say is, my mom used to say, you got to be in the way of it. You want something,
right.
be in the way of it.
That's right.
And
That's right.
men and women have the same problem a lot of times. They're just not in the way of it. The type men that they're looking for.
Right.
Say, where you going looking for guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
I said, yeah.
you in the wrong
right,
place.
right.
The guy you looking for, it's a bunch of dudes in there,
Right.
but it's not the dude you want. So you need to go somewhere else.
But
The
you
same
have-
thing with the
you-
ladies.
You have women that I want to say have a type of man they're looking for.
True.
A type of man. That's why they're not really trying.
True.
But to that point, I tell people all the time, it's something that come with that. I tell.
That's
I said,
so true.
you want the man that was gonna serenade you, but he also want a toe ring. Do you like that? Just make sure you like all that. I just want to make sure you like all that. I was saying, it's something that come with that. Man, I don't want a rough guy. Okay, it's something that come with that.
That's right. That's right.
They want the bad guy.
Yeah, so just
Yes.
know, just know you ordering a combo meal. That's all. just know it ain't separate.
Yeah, I like that
This ain't
one.
a la carte.
Right.
So you know,
That's
and
true.
it's vice versa. You say, hey man, I want a corporate guy, but you mad because he's the CEO, but he always at work.
Right.
It come with that.
Come with that.
So you
Absolutely.
gotta, and you gotta know what you're ordering. And guys, same thing. You gotta know what you order. Man, she be
But
twerking.
they want
club,
that Build-A-Bear man, though. You know, they
Build a
Piece
better
of
man.
that, piece of that,
Yeah,
piece of that. Yeah, Steve Harvey told you how to build a man. And Kings of Comedy, he said you had to get you 10 of those. With all the attributes. Because it ain't going to work out. But to everyone's point, what you're looking for, if you're looking, it's out there.
Yeah.
It's out there. That's the same thing, just like it with music or entertainment, anything you want, you can go find it. It's people want to sit in their house and hopefully it's going to come.
Sit on the house on a.
Dating sites.
Dating sites, yeah.
Let me tell y'all about dating sites. This is the problem.
That's a
I'm
good
tell y'all.
thing. Let's get
We'll
it.
talk about it.
Okay.
This is the problem with you and dating sites. First of all, you didn't do the self work. You don't even know you. You typed up your profile about you, and you wrong about you. So when they send you the match, it's like it didn't work because you put the wrong stuff in there.
That is so true.
So you shouldn't get mad when you find this guy that's really not this guy.
Correct, because you typed it in there.
and also recognize the law of attraction. I remember one sister, she was complaining that she couldn't find a date. But in her profile, I don't like this. I do not like that. And everything was no, not, don't, negative attributes.
I call that the Chili's list.
So,
What?
Your Chili from TLC.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that's right.
That list, I was like,
Yeah.
Chili.
man,
That's why
might
she the
find
one
like
got
that.
right. So then, utilize the law of attraction and understand that you have to put out what you want. And as the brother was saying, you have to be who you are and be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that you like to go to bed at 9:30 at night.
Right.
If that's true, please write that down, because I don't like no woman who go to bed at 9:30 at night.
Please tell me
You have a problem with me.
Please let me know you go to bed at 9 so I can call you at 10. I'm gonna wake you up.
And I said that because I've been there before, where it was a person that went to work every day, came home, but went to bed. I don't want you to do that.
Right, that's our life.
Or you come home and you put your bonnet on at 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. Don't do that. I know you got to wear it. You're a black woman. Don't do it at 5 o'clock. Wait. Just wait. Hold on. You ain't got to do it right now. You ain't going to bed yet.
Yeah.
Why?
Why you gotta walk over?
Why you came in and put on the worst thing you can find? Why?
We talk.
It's 5 p.m. The sun's still up. Why you look like hell now? Don't make no sense. Don't make sense. I'm just saying. Again, but if that's a routine, you need to go get your guy that like that, and it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta say that in your profile.
What's that profile?
I put on my bonnet at 5:30. Got it.
Check that.
No click.
But somebody else may click.
Somebody might.
But just
Somebody
that-
yeah, girl, go ahead.
Maybe her iron is low. We don't know.
Yeah, perhaps. That's why she go to sleep all the time. Maybe, I don't know. We say
Well, that goes into the doctor, though. So then women got to go to the doctor as
Yeah,
well.
that's true. They gotta go to the doctor. That is so true.
so do the self work. I think it all goes back to self work,
it
man.
does.
You gotta do the self.
That's right.
Because we talked about baggage a little bit, and men come in with whatever. Guys gotta be honest with yourself too. You gotta be honest with yourself too. You know what? You like women. That's cool. Then you probably don't need to be like trying to tell her that I'm ready to get married today.
Yeah, that's true.
You like women. You ain't ready to get married today.
Be honest
Don't
with
even
that.
go
That's
into
right.
it like that.
That's true.
I got partners like that. Well, I'm ready.
Bruh. You be like, bruh,
No, you're not.
what's that? But
what makes you think
that's a good
that
question.
you're ready? That's what I ask.
That's a good
What makes
question
you
though,
think that-
because are you ever really ready? You've been married before.
Yeah, I've been married.
So are you ever really? Are you for a man? You really?
I think as you mature and you get older, like I've seen this meme that says, I know this is PG, but when brothers suffer ED, then they want to settle down. So
Yeah.
You gotta suffer.
You basically
No.
But as you get older, then after you've done everything. I mean, like I said, especially single brother like you with no children holding. You ain't got to do the whole kid thing.
Yeah.
So then you probably done everything imaginable. So then, for some of those brothers who hadn't done all of that, then they trying to, as they say, sow their wild oats until they get to that point where now they feel like, okay, I've done everything now. Okay, now let me find the right woman. And sisters, unfortunately, y'all gonna have to deal with a lot of these jokers who are not ready to settle yet, and you're gonna be another body count. You know what I mean?
But don't interrogate the brother.
But see, the difference
That-
is
I
that
think
if the brother is
question-
honest and say, hey, I'm not willing to be married or relationship right now, you can make two consenting adults can make that type of
But
decision and say,
sometimes the women
that
will direct you.
this is
Even
true.
if you say no.
Yeah,
they
that's true
still,
too. They still trying to.
still,
I agree.
It's like
but
the
at
car has
least
an alignment problem. It's still pulling over to the side.
Only one surprise is you.
yeah. But then you can at least say, I told you.
Right.
And you still went, you cannot blame the man
Right,
at that point if he was honest with you
Right.
and said that. Now, the problem is the honesty part. Now, that's a
true.
large part of the problem, too.
Absolutely.
But no, there is a point where you just like, hey, I really don't need that. Especially when you realize that, I'm PG here, let's see. It's all the same. It is literally, yeah, do this flip and that flip, but the bottom line is that it's still the same in the end.
To that point, I want to say, with this round table being to women to get that part confused, though, your eyes didn't stop working.
No, they didn't.
You know what a pretty woman looks like,
This is
right?
true.
And
This is true.
I think women sometimes think that now you got a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, your eyes don't work. I see her. I might not want her, but I see her.
Yeah.
So let's not get confused because I'm aware that you see him.
Exactly.
Bottom
Absolutely.
line.
And you make us look by saying, do you see his tie?
Right.
And therefore, we looking at his tie. We know you trying. That's the game. That's the code word. Man, he fine.
Tie.
You know that.
Girl,
we know
you better
that.
talk to your girlfriend about his tie.
Exactly.
Keep y'all game.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we understand the game. Time
They been
kinda
called
quick.
out
Yeah,
over
you know what I'm saying? You know the
Damn
game.
about his tie.
Yeah, word. We understand.
Call your sister and tell her about his tie.
But let us say that. Let us say that. What's gonna happen? We get all that. It's not equal.
You
Yeah, you
disrespected
expect
me.
me. Yeah.
I was looking away from
I was about.
Women, if you're like that, you gotta be honest too. I think women gotta be honest about that
That's
too.
true,
If
too.
you're a type person that's go get, because if you're that kind of person, you couldn't date a guy like me. Because I'm around women all the time, around people in general, and I gotta talk to people. If you a person that can't deal with it,
Right.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
not
the
even
one.
start.
Yeah.
let's not
Not
even
the
start.
one.
You definitely have to be mature and have a strong
Yeah.
mental.
Again, self work. Know
Absolutely.
yourself. If you know it ain't you, that's fine. Me, on the other hand, man, you can go run all through. I don't care. He can buy and drink. Good. I ain't got to buy it. Please. If he don't think, hey, he told me I was fine. Good. Because if he didn't, I got the wrong one. So if he did tell you he was fine. I done chose the wrong chick.
If ain't nobody else looking at it.
Ain't nobody else looking at him. Something wrong with me. I got to reevaluate. We like, wait. Ain't nobody trying to holler while you was out. Nobody.
Bad in the back. You still by
Nobody. I'm tripping. This love thing. I can slip my eyes out. Water. Let me look at you again. I done messed up.
Right?
Yeah, I done messed up. So leave. Nobody. At least one dude. The bouncer? No? Okay. I gotta get me a new job. I'm doing the wrong thing. We got a question on Facebook.
We have a question from Michelle English. She
Oh,
says,
that's a good
where
one.
do you guys suggest us good single women go to find good single men?
Okay. All right.
That's the question.
Anybody else got an answer?
I would say
I got a couple.
you would have to go to a grown-up function.
Like,
I'm gonna say a nice lounge. I went down to Essence Festival. Did some work down there. There's plenty of beautiful women down there.
you gotta flip that one. Guys, you need to go to Essence Festival. I don't understand why guys. It's 400,000 people. Why dudes don't never go to Essence Festival? It's just New Orleans. It don't make no sense to me. Never mind. Go ahead, carry on. I've been saying this for years.
Essence was beautiful. They hit a record.
510,000 people.
Right. It was beautiful. The people was beautiful, and everybody had a good time. So I saw a lot of fellas getting out, mingling and hollering at the women.
Good.
I also saw women too, mingling and hollering with the fellas. What you see where? These are grown-ups, so you have to go to grown-up functions.
That's true.
I'm gonna say stay away from the hood and the ratchet clubs, man.
Yeah, not for that. Not really.
Nah.
But single, she said, so she wants single men. There are men that go, men,
We
men like cigar bars. You
True.
might not like cigars, but men like cigar bars. Can you handle that? Go out there. There's some men that hang there. Did you go to the sports bar? Because I just told you that men are habitual. So you be like, I don't want to go up in Hooters. I had Hooters lunch yesterday, and it ain't nothing but dudes in there. Go with it. Go have a drink. Because guys see somebody sitting down, they'll talk to them. Like you said grown-up function because you're the type man you might like. If you're at a jazz concert and there's men there, you want to talk to that guy because he likes the same thing you like. Introduce yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, I think a lot of times women go into, and I don't know, it's not a blanket statement, but individual women, I think they go into those kind of places, and it's like, don't talk to me, but please talk to me.
Right.
I understand. You can't do that.
Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde. Right.
It's hard. It's
Yeah,
like,
it is.
I won't show her. Did you want this to happen? I really liked you. Couldn't tell.
Are we gonna make this happen? Like,
Yeah.
Couldn't tell. I mean, I host weddings, maybe I say 45, 50 weddings a year, and there are married women and single women there. But in the wedding, they looking at the men, but scared to say anything, and they just leave. I'm like, I just called all the single men up here, 30 men. It's 30 of y'all. Why ain't nobody said nothing to nobody?
I don't want to.
They didn't look the same.
I don't want to look a certain way, and you know. Nah,
I would-
But continue answering this question.
I would say look in your friend zone. You probably got a lot of good dudes sitting right there.
Boy, say that again. Boy. Wait a minute.
Look in your friend zone.
Look in your friend zone.
zone.
That is.
Hashtag. Look in your friend
That's a
zone.
good.
Yeah, so
That should
a
be
lot of brothers are there. They've been patiently waiting for you to recognize them, and you keep going for the clowns. And so you don't get that good brother. You know, you done friend zoned them, and you know. So trust me, most brothers
I
are not
wanna
your
say,
friend
too.
for a reason.
He didn't say poke. He said friend.
Look in your friend. But I want to say, be careful in your friend zone how much you get information from him. Because girls be like, yeah, he my friend, and then let him tell you all his little nasty business. Just you better keep that. Bro, don't tell me that story. Because if one day I want to dip in this friend zone, I know who you are. I don't want that. Fellas, keep some of that story to yourself. But yeah, that's great. I never
Yeah, I
look
never thought
in
of
your
that.
friend. Look in your friend zone.
That's a good one.
Because that guy knows you. He already cares about you. That man
Absolutely.
might even love you. He ain't gonna
right.
tell you that
That's right.
because he ain't have a chance. But that
Right.
man might already have some love for you.
Absolutely.
What you got?
Dr. Marquita Blaze wanted to add she and her husband were friends for 10 years before they dated and married. So he was in her friend zone.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Very possible.
That,
Very possible.
that's real. What other place? I mean, because this is
Target.
Atlanta. I
Target.
wanna say
Target. He said Target. That's
Target.
right. Target. That's right. That's right.
True. Ladies, here's a little trick that men know. If you see a woman in Home Depot, that means she got a house. So he gonna say, let me talk to her.
Right.
She at Home Depot.
Tell her the
She
truth.
got a
Tell her
house.
the
Yeah.
I don't want to talk to her. So maybe you want to go to Home
That's
Depot,
right.
buy some paint. You might not need it.
That is definitely a good place. Any
place,
type
yeah.
of home improvement.
Yeah,
You know,
home improvement store, go. Because you know who Home Depot's number one competitor
You can
is?
start the
Walmart.
conversation.
Oh, Walmart.
Walmart is their number one competitor. So you going to Walmart? Go to Home Depot. Go get light bulbs. Go get that.
Walmart is like a comedy show. I don't know.
What I'm saying is, don't go to Walmart. Go to Home Depot for the same things that you're going to go Walmart for, because the men over there. That's your choice, because they literally compete in business.
That's true.
So, I was gonna say, this is Atlanta. There's something going on every single night. Whatever you want, a concert, there's live music. Last Saturday I went to the Georgia Tech Clemson football game. Then I went to the soccer game. The Atlanta United were playing Utah. 72,000 people in there. I walked from the stadium, so I passed all these people. Went through the park. There's something going on in the park at the same time. There was another home game. Georgia State was playing somewhere, and then there was like 2 festivals. Just saying that's one day. It's Saturday. You live in Atlanta. Take advantage of it.
Right.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's always something going on. I got something going on every single night. There's something to do. You can go to Apache Cafe. You want to catch some music. You like live music. I think people spend a lot of time saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And all they know is, "I'm going to the club or a bar." And why? You live in Atlanta. Now you live in a small town. Maybe y'all go to the same spot.
Right.
But you live in a metropolitan area. Atlanta's not the only place like that.
Right.
San Francisco, L.A., Miami, D.C., all these cities are just like this. A lot of people spending a lot of time just not taking advantage.
Yeah.
True.
And
That's
us
right.
as African Americans, I think that's a
Yeah.
problem for us, because we are quick to say, that ain't us, or that's white people stuff.
Right.
We quick to say that.
Right.
Stop saying it.
Yeah.
Just go.
You
Yeah,
absolutely
that's
right.
Just go, man.
So,
I do some.
For you entrepreneurs out there, though, that's a great business to have, is to create events to be able to join up the single men and the single women.
Man.
So
You know what?
you might want to look into
You
that.
know what? In Houston, Texas, they have events like
Oh,
that.
really?
Yes, they do.
I have been hosting Playdate for 10 years, and y'all don't go. Just saying.
They still
Wow.
do that?
Yeah.
Really?
I'm the national host for Playdate. We go all over the
Okay,
country.
all
I
right.
remember
I
when it
heard
was
about
out
Playdate.
out in what was it? Off of
Yeah.
285.
It was in Perimeter when we first started, and
Yeah.
it's grown to. So the international trip is part of
Wow.
Playdate.
All right. Congratulations.
Going to
man.
Punta Cana this month, and we're doing a New Year's Eve train from Atlanta to New Orleans. Something different to do on New Year's Eve. So all that information, you follow me, you find all of that. But we're always doing something. I always want to do something. We did a tailgate, had 125 people paid to come to all you can eat, all you can drink tailgate last week. Ladies, go to the tailgate. Atlanta got some of the best tailgating.
Yes, it is.
Some of the best tailgating. And some people that I ain't never been.
Well, yeah,
Just
you
go.
gotta go.
You ain't gotta have a ticket, and there's a bunch of free stuff around the stadium that you can go to. You find men that got kids. If that's your thing, they out there playing with their kids. You can learn. So it's really, to answer that person's question, ain't no one place to go. But use Eventbrite, use Facebook. Just go out there and check and see what's going on, and just
Facebook have a lot of events.
just check some, just do something you never done. You be like, you know what? Fernbank has on Friday night, they got martinis, martini and screen or something. Go to the Fernbank on Friday night and check it out. I know all this stuff, so you can call me and we can make, for a small fee, I tell you where to go. No. Speaking of entrepreneurship. Right. But the question we started off saying, where is the, what's next for the black men? The travel thing is a question. So I want to get some answers from you guys. Why do you think, I got my thoughts, why do you think black professional men don't travel?
I'm gonna probably say because they, one, don't want to. Two, they being cheap.
Yeah.
And three, just not trying, man. Just not opening their mind and just want to get out there and try.
Okay. All right.
I would definitely say finances would be, that was my biggest hindrance, before I started to travel, was I didn't have the funds. So I shied away from, no, I don't want to go, I don't want to do that, that's white people stuff, because, I didn't have the funds. I started to make a little bit more money, and
Anyways, I'm not scared of going anywhere. So let's go. Well, let me take that back. If there's some terrorism going on or some bombing going on, I'd be like, not there.
Olivia's great.
Yeah, like not there. Like, nah, that's all right. But that's primarily the reason why. But it's all about exposing yourself.
Yes,
It's about
yes.
enjoying it.
Yes,
and,
it is.
And, that's the one thing you have, because the money can't go with you. You
right.
can at least look back, man, I lived this life.
that's right.
Open
You know?
your mind.
And you got some good memories.
I got some good
Yes,
memories.
absolutely.
Like, yeah, when you're
Absolutely.
90 years old, you're like, hey, I can't.
You remember it.
You be like, yeah.
Right.
And what I like about traveling with my wife, though, is about we can share that together.
That
And
bond,
now we have not only do we share the bond later, we're
Right.
building that bond
right.
now. So it's like, man, we're going, we did, remember when? And now it's just like, yeah, and now that whole joy comes back in, and you're,
So
okay,
again,
let's go back.
Another reason why men should go out there and
Right.
travel, because women, there's a whole Facebook groups called
Yes.
Solo Trips and all that.
And
There's
black
women, they go
some-
everywhere. Black travel, of
Yeah,
course,
all
but
types
there's women go solo everywhere, and we sitting there like.
On the
To the
couch.
point though, finances. One of it is just knowledge. A lot of men that they don't know. There's a lot of closed-minded guys get together. They're not talking about it.
That's right.
Second part is men don't have a point person. Women, they be like, hey, all right, girl, We going here.
Yes,
it costs
that's
this
so
much.
true.
We got a room.
That's
this
right.
So it's somebody that kind of plan it. Guys don't really have that.
I
That's
tell
right.
my father
You got a
that all
point.
the time. Matter of fact, we was in a group. I just divorced them out the group. Like, why y'all, like, look, you know.
Well,
I
I'm
know-
gonna
I know
invite you
such
all,
and
you
such.
guys on the next trip.
Yeah,
so-
well,
Women playing. We just be like, what's up?
Yeah.
What you mean, what's up? What?
So
What
the
y'all
solution
trying
to
to
that is men, you guys got to pay. Just go ahead and get a travel agent. Pay a point person because you understand that you ain't
Man,
you
too.
gonna have
Man,
I
yes.
know this. You need to tell this to my partner.
done deal.
I'm just let them know I got
Pay a
some new
point
friends.
The boys never
I
like.
don't do nothing.
And you
Done deal.
utilize that tax return, fellas, to plan that trip. You know, you ain't always got to pay all those bills off. You can use that tax return to pay for that trip.
Hey man, there's
Oh,
ways
set-
around. Now part of it,
set
I would
aside.
tell ladies. This is the other thing we talk about. We talk about social status. Men go on dates. If you date more than one woman, that's an expense. You know what I mean? If you're dating,
Yes.
that's an expense that possibly a woman doesn't have. Not an excuse. It's just facts. There is the delta we have now in earning. There are women earning more than some of these men, and that's a challenge, like you said, finances. But ladies, I tell you, if you want the guys to travel a little bit more, if you want them to come along, you start being more vocal. You start talking about it. You say check your friend zone. Start talking about this stuff. I always call it trading cards. What I say is invite 10 guys that you don't want nothing to do with. A lady, she gonna invite 10 guys she don't know do. She don't got something nobody she don't want to deal with. Guess what? You don't know who them they might match up. They might match up. So yeah, trading cards. You don't want them, but somebody else might want them. Before you know it, you got even and out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be like, yeah, I'm going on a trip, and you tell 5 girls. Stop doing that. Tell 5 to 10 dudes that you know got jobs. They know guys that have. They see you on social media. They see you out in public. Hey, you know what? I know exactly who I'm gonna talk to. I'm gonna talk to this guy. I'm telling him about it. And I think that will solve some of the issues they have out there. What is the greatest obstacle that the black man, and this may be too vast, but I'm gonna try it. What's the greatest obstacle that a black man is facing? You think today? I think everybody has a different opinion. Is facing today. What's the greatest obstacle?
I'm gonna say not believing in us.
Others?
Not believing in us black men.
Oh, we don't believe in us.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Who we got? And it's a broad question.
No, but I like his statement. I think if we recognize who we are
There you go.
and realize that
Yeah,
we
believe
are
in us
the
at the time.
greatest people on the planet, and nothing would exist if it wasn't for us. Nothing would. The culture comes from us. Everything that happens comes from us. So when we believe in ourselves, then we will be able to rise above and reclaim the greatness that we know we are descendants from. I think. For me.
It took know thyself is all I
Yeah,
was
that's
saying.
it.
You got to
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
who you are. Once you know who you are, and I'm not just talking about ancient Africa and even greatness of America, black.
You're
and things.
down.
Just know you, know you, and know your the work that you need to do on yourself, knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, so that when you're able to, you can play up your strengths,
Right.
build up on your weaknesses, and then that way you're even more confident to face whatever it is that's coming. Because it's not just external; it's also internal issues that we have that
Absolutely.
causes so many
Absolutely.
problems.
And my answer is similar. I say our greatest obstacle is us. Our greatest obstacle is self. We stop ourselves. We talk ourselves out of doing things. Our bravado sometimes stops us from going forward.
True.
You know, we don't read. We don't think outside of the box. Like if you can't read, you drive around that car all day long. Put in an audio book if that's how you learn. If not, just figure out how you learn. That's self-work.
Yeah, but I think we all are saying the same thing. Though.
Yeah.
It definitely
It's
comes
self.
it's definitely
self.
knowing self. Because once you get to that point, then you know nobody can stop you but you.
Absolutely.
But I want men to know that we're not disconnected either. When we say the work is self, one of the things I was taught, one of the things I say is that I represent the whole. When I'm out and they see me well dressed, they see the way I speak, the way I act. They don't see Jason. A lot of times they see black men.
Right.
You know, so the same if you go out there and act a straight fool,
True.
they see black men. This is how black men look. If you don't realize society gets their image of us from television
That's right.
and music. So if you don't realize that there's an image being put out about you that don't match who you really are, I mean, you gotta work extra hard. You gotta tip when you go out.
Right.
You're right.
You gotta dress a certain way when you go out.
Right.
I'm gonna add on to that. You know, when I'm talking to a lot of people out in general, and you're correct. When I'm out, I'm representing us.
That's right.
You know, yes, I have diverse, casual, mostly, relaxed like this. But I'm out here representing us, the way I talk, the way I walk.
That's right.
You know, the way I just my swag and everything, my confidence. The way I talk to people, building them up.
Correct.
I represent us.
Correct.
That's right.
How you treat our women, how you treat.
Children.
Today was old people. It was older person's day. Was today's holiday,
Okay.
and I said it on my radio show this morning. Hey man, buy somebody lunch. Treat somebody. When you see her, do you see your auntie? Do you see your grandma? That could be somebody.
That's right.
Treat people, and they say, you know what? They got a different image of black men. 'Cause when you did that, they don't say he's a nice man. Like man, I didn't know those guys were like that.
Right.
You had something?
Yes, the second conference we ever did for B.O.S.S, Professor Griff was our keynote speaker.
Yeah.
And he talked about returning to a place where we have a rites of passage for our young men. So my question is, if you're talking about training the next generation of young men, what are some of those rites of passage that should be from one man to the next generation?
Can I start with
Yes.
that? Because I was at one point attempting to have my own mentoring program. And what I was going to do was to teach the young brothers from 13 to 18 limited handyman skills, toilets, electrical work, sheetrock, and I was going to I had brothers, as a matter of fact, I had brothers that was going to teach other skills that I didn't have. And have those young brothers, once they learn, to turn that around inside of the community, find older ladies, older people in the community that didn't have the funds to get certain repairs done. With these brothers having the skills, then we would have them go out and do the work pro bono.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so that the older people would know the younger folk, and the younger folk would know the older folk, like it used to be when we was growing up. Of course, I've been derailed, but that is something that I still want to do.
Yeah.
So then I think by the brothers having that, stepping up and providing that leadership, and having letting the sisters know, going to the churches, going to whatever events where there's a lot of sisters, and letting them know that there's actual mentorship programs. And I do know some, so if anybody's interested in them, I do know brothers that are doing this right now in Atlanta. And having those kids come to those events, and so then they would get that interaction with men, real positive men. You know what I mean? Not just the local D-boy, but real men that actually want to make a difference in the community. So yeah.
Well, certain things I would want them to do is read. There's the books that I was just talking about financial literacy. Having those type of readings of not only financial literacy, but know something about ancient African history. Know something about yourself as a black man and woman, so we can train you and have that pride, so you can face the world, right? And know your worth, so that you don't have to worry about, you add a different flavor, appreciate that flavor. Don't hide it, appreciate it. So that would be one. The second thing is just sit down and have a conversation with them. Explain why this is why I did this. Not just say I do it because I told you so, but let me explain why this is going to be good for you. And just constantly do those things. The third thing is that I believe, and I may have some people that disagree, is that they, in my opinion, go to an HBCU.
Oh, absolutely.
Aggie pride.
Aggie pride.
Go to an HBCU. Those
Absolutely.
are some of those milestones that will take you to that next level of growth and being who you are.
I love it. So rites passage, we're talking handed down, limited handyman skills. Perfect, because I know men who don't know how to change the tire.
Exactly.
Good word.
Exactly.
So you got to reading. I think being specific about reading, hand down those titles.
That's right.
Like you can list a couple. I bet you all of us can
Yeah,
list a couple
absolutely.
books that'd be like, you know what, you should read
You
these.
should automatically get no choice.
Let's pass
Absolutely.
this down. The HBCU thing, Major. I heard a joke on, and I'll answer the question, but I heard a joke on Saturday Night Live just this Saturday. Did not like it, and it was the black guy that said it.
Of course.
And he said, I never thought that I would say it, but I'm going to send my kids to black schools where it's safe.
Wow.
The joke was about Kavanaugh and him and the stuff happening at frat parties or whatever. But he said, I never thought I'd say this, but I'm going to send my kids to black schools where it's safe. And I was like,
Yeah.
where the laugh button
Yeah.
at, bruh? That ain't funny.
That ain't funny, right?
It was awful. And if y'all were worried about what Kanye was, not okay. That joke was my problem. Which I'll be writing to them directly about that joke. I did not like that joke at all. But so the Rite of Passage, kind of talking about that though. Talk about the importance of the HBCU and what it does. How to I want something I want to do, and we'll talk about what you was talking about because I want to. Maybe we can figure out something to do together. But I want to take a group of men to, say, a KNG or somewhere else and get fitted. Just know their sizes.
Yes.
You got to buy a suit today.
Yes.
But some men don't even know
How to
their
tie
neck
a tie.
size.
Neck
Don't
size,
know their coat. Don't know
That's
their-
right. That's right.
And don't know how to tie. I got a family member whose wife still ties ties. We won't talk about that. It's a challenge for me. I don't understand. But I think just something as simple as that, because everybody's not gonna wear a suit. Everybody maybe not.
Not necessary.
I'm a child of hip hop. I love sneakers, but I still dress like this. But I think passing that on, that's a rite of passage. Just knowing, hey, I should know that as a man, I need a black and a blue suit at minimum.
Absolutely.
I know
Absolutely.
that what my sleeve length is. How do I go find that out? It's free. Walk in the store, go figure it out. I got an uncle that said, hey, if they don't got no numbers on the sides, I'm walking out the store. What? Medium? I don't want to pass that. He's super fresh all the time.
Yeah.
He said, they don't got no numbers. I need mine right.
Yeah, you need to fit him. You need to fit him.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's a trip. But I think that, to the question, rites of passage, I do think that passing on and knowing, I should know my size as a man. As an adult man, 16 on actually, but if you get it late, cool. If you don't have it now, learn it. Ladies, if you got sons, teach them. Go take them somewhere so they can learn it. Something they need to know.
I was talking college. It was a lot of us that didn't know nothing about it because we didn't have a man around.
Exactly.
So I had graduated from Grambling State University.
Shout out.
All right. HBCU. That's right. That's right.
what's up.
But these male teachers taught us because we had to do a presentation. It wasn't no way we was getting in that class without wearing suits,
That's right.
tie.
Do it.
And we had to figure it out. We got with the upper class, and even the upperclassmen got on us. Like, y'all don't know how to bring your buddy up. This is how you do it. Do it like this. Like, you sure? There's a lot of us, probably like 8 of us, but, they was teaching.
Absolutely.
They was teaching.
Learn it, man.
You have to learn.
We gotta get ready to wrap it up. This is a great discussion. This is something that we can continue to do. I encourage you guys to continue to have these discussions. When you're sitting around, you're talking about Dallas versus Atlanta. Talk about something else too.
Yeah,
just throw something else in there.
That's right.
And have these type of discussions. This is Like a Boss. I'm Jason Carey again. I'm on air every single day. IBNX Radio 7 to 10 every single morning. Follow Jason 804. Wednesday nights I'm out. Thursday nights I'm out. I'm always doing something. I won't get into that. But we have the Bride Tribe is coming from the Regina Sunshine Global Network. Also, that's the game show coming. Bride versus Bride. They're competing to see if your tribe knows their bride the best. I'll be hosting that. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be live at Studio T in Douglasville, Georgia. So you want some more information, info@teambridetribe.com. Y'all can send out an email. We need more brides because different brides are going to compete. So someone getting married in the next month or next 2 months, next year. Somebody getting married. Tell them email in, sign in, and be part of the show. There's vendors, there's prizes. Hey, you might get something paid for it. You don't even know it. But you got to get involved. The only way you can learn is to get involved. So jump on Team Brad Tribe when you get an opportunity ASAP. Start next week. I'm starting in October. Tell them your social media. Tell them your Instagram, your Twitter. Tell them that.
Ronnie Rogers is the name. Social media platform: Instagram at Total Eclipse 7, Facebook Ronnie Rogers, Twitter Total Eclipse #7.
Okay.
All right, Hodge Womack, Teachers in Touch is on, you look that up on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all Teachers in Touch.
Kedar Griffo, but Zoza Research Society is on Facebook as well as a website, and so it's Zoser, Z-O-S-E-R Research Society. You can email me at zoserresearchsociety.gmail or go to the website and hit me up, or on Facebook and hit me up.
Again, I'm Jason804, jasoncarey.net coming real soon. Got some more stuff. I got movies and all sorts of stuff I need y'all to check. I want to say thank you also in front of all these gentlemen as an educator, being in the education field. We need as many men, black men involved. If you got people going out to school, it's so much we need to talk about still, because we need to talk about what fields we need to send our men in. We're talking about the STEM. There's a whole STEM college, high school being built in Norcross right now, and how many people know about it? How many black students going to be there?
That's true, too.
So, again, this is the Like a Boss show here on Regina Sunshine Global Network. Hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in.